Alrighty, guys, welcome in to Nate's NFL Power Podcast. This week we've got episode 7, week 7, NFL Power Rankings. Of course, I am your host, your editor, your producer, always triggered, aka Big Nate. As always, I've got the full 32 to 1 power rankings in my unique format for you guys. I'll set you up with your week 7 game slate. We're going to go through those top 6 games for the upcoming week, and I'll be picking those games. Feel free to pick against me if you would like. Of course, guys, please do me that favor and go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it might just help your boy out. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. At 32, you've got the Carolina Panthers, 31, the Denver Broncos, 30, the Bears, 29, Texans, 28, Commanders, 27, Arizona Cardinals, 26, you've got the Jacksonville Jaguars dropping down 6 spots here. They outrushed the Colts 243 yards to 45, but could not get any pressure on Matt Ryan, and couldn't get to him on that last drive, and Matt Ryan ended up scoring with only seconds to go in that game. So that was a big game there for that division. You got the Lions at 25 on their bye week, moving up a spot. The Raiders moving down 3 spots on their bye week. Those Colts that we just talked about moved up 2 spots there. They're 3, 2, and 1. The Tennessee Titans at 22, and then the Saints at 21. So the Tennessee Titans and Saints falling down into the basement. We'll be talking about a little bit more about these teams here in some of our upcoming segments of this episode. Not much to say. Like I said, these teams are not great, and we've been seeing a little bit too much of them, and we're just going to have to gut it out a little longer. Hopefully these primetime games get a little better for us. Let's get over to the Fringe, guys. So at 20, we got the Browns, 19 Steelers, 18 Patriots, 17 Seahawks, 16 Green Bay Packers. Never thought I would see the Packers this low. 15 Atlanta Falcons, 14 Rams, moving down a spot after their victory against the Panthers. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And in that game, especially the Panthers and Rams, it was locked up, I believe, at like 10-10, almost through 75% of that game. So just not the best look there for the Rams. Their offensive line definitely struggling. The 49ers dropping 3 spots there after their loss. You got the Dolphins at 12, and you've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's right, Tom Brady has been moved outside of the top 10, and that's not easy for me to put Tom Brady outside of that top 10, but that Tampa Bay team it's definitely got some holes in it. And Tom Brady, to be honest, is not as dialed in or locked in, and I mean that in this particular way. When I watch a lot of what the Buccaneers are doing, he is very much only Tom trusting playoff Lenny. If it's not Leonard Fournette, it's really not anything for him. They're not clutch when they need to be. Case in point, those 2-point conversions, they can't seem to convert them at the end of games. And when they need critical third downs, they're not able to get those as well. I think I have the stat here on my cheat sheet. Yeah, I went 4 for 14 on third downs. Just definitely not going to do it for you. Very un-Tom Brady-like. So dropping them out of the top 10 there. Other notable things here in the Fringe, the Steelers. Wow. Moving up 10 spots with their big win over those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Patriots also moving up 6 spots here to that 18th spot with their couple of wins in a row they got with Bailey Zappi, who looks pretty good. No report yet on the Patriots starter. So if you're watching this video, know that on Thursday, the Patriots will be practicing. That should give us a little more insight as to whether Mac Jones is starting or whether Bailey Zappi will be starting. Now, the Falcons at 3-3. You guys know how much I've been talking about the Falcons all year. I really like what they're doing, and I can't say enough good things about Marcus Mariota. I really enjoy watching Marcus Mariota, and you got those NFC West teams like I talked about, Frisco and the Rams. Those teams right next to each other in the same division, a very tough division in the NFL. All right, guys, let's get into everyone's favorite part, Nate's top 10 teams for Week 7. Here we go, guys. At number 10, the Baltimore Ravens. And they dropped 2 spots. They lost to our number 9 team. Can you believe it? The New York Football Giants are ranked 9 in the top 10 teams at 5-1. They are just so tremendously coached. I really think Brian Daboll is doing an excellent job with the Giants. They stick to their game plan. It's all about Saquon Barkley. It's all about protecting the football, and they actually do a pretty good job of it. Daniel Jones did have a fumble in this game, but it was at the end of the second quarter, so right before halftime on a Hail Mary play, so no big deal. with that fumble. I had no concerns with it. But the Giants played really good football there. They were able to get Lamar Jackson turned over very late in that game to seal that deal. They came back from, I think, 20-10 down. So excellent game that was. And both still in the top 10. Ravens falling down a little bit, Giants coming up a little bit. At number 8, you got your Los Angeles Chargers. Definitely not their best showing there against Denver last week. Their defense, to me, is just lacking. Their offense looks good, but they are missing Keenan Allen. So they moved down 4 spots. I think I might have overrated them a little bit last week. I had them up at 4. So 8, I think, is a good spot for them right now. And they better get their act cleaned up because some of these other teams can get them if they keep playing like they play on defense. Number 7, the New York Jets, guys. I cannot believe this top 10 is insane. I can't believe both New York teams are in here. We got NFC East teams in here. This is just a crazy, crazy year so far in the NFL. So the Jets play their style of football. I've got them ranked 7 here. Their big win against Green Bay. They play good defense. They block kicks. Apparently, they blocked the field goal for the Packers to start the second quarter, I believe. They blocked a punt and returned that for a touchdown. They're just really, really well coached as well. You're not going to find a lot of bad coaches in these top 10 teams here. Of course, you can have your way talking about Staley with the Chargers with some of his calls. He's very aggressive, but he's not a bad coach. He's just a highly aggressive coach. Number 6, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals there, 3-3 with Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase went absolutely off. 7 catches, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns for Jamar Chase there in New Orleans. Of course, they like to play there. They won their championship game there back in the day. So those 2 boys, I mean, what can I say? Their defense is coming along there. They're 3-3. I think they're kind of coming back into form there for the AFC defending champs. Your top 5 teams now, guys. We've got the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, they did lose, but they have beaten the Bengals, and I think they are better than the Jets and Chargers. That defense for the Cowboys is for real. They had to come back. Philly came out to a 20-3 second quarter. Philadelphia is very strong in the second quarter. The Cowboys came back. They held their own on defense. They just had too many turnovers and penalties again rearing their head. So you have to keep an eye on that if you're a Cowboys fan. Not good to see them rack up the penalties. Of course, the 3 interceptions was not ideal either for Cooper Rush. So looking like Dak's going to be playing there for that Detroit Lion game. Again, we'll get into that here in just a minute. Number 4, the Minnesota Vikings, 5-1. They just keep winning. I think they're a solid team. Justin Jefferson, absolute monster. He didn't outgain Tyreek Hill in that matchup last week against the Dolphins, but he definitely held his own out there. What did he get? Like 107 yards on 6 balls, or on 6 catches. So not too shabby a day there for Justin Jefferson, one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL. Number 3, you know it. It's the Philadelphia Eagles at 6-0, best team in the NFC. I really think the Vikings, Cowboys, and Eagles are the top of the class there in the NFC, which is, like I said, this blows my mind that these are the teams. I wouldn't have expected these 3 teams to be at the top of the NFC, but the Eagles looking really, really good. They're, of course, undefeated. And your number 2 and 1 team, guys, you know it. I thought they were going to swap, and of course they did. You got the Kansas City Chiefs dropping a spot, the Buffalo Bills taking that top spot back. How about those Buffalo Bills, man? They are for real. The big difference in that game, Von Miller, the pressure, the defense. I think the Buffalo Bills are just way more sound on defense. The Kansas City Chiefs had an opportunity at the end of that game. Patrick Mahomes had the ball. I thought he was going to do something with it. Nope. Buffalo shut that down. So very impressive for the Buffalo defense there, and they regained that top spot. This is a damn good top 10 here, guys, going into week 7. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do I have anybody ranked too high, too low? Would you put anybody in the top 10 that I don't have? And if so, who are you kicking out? Because, I mean, these teams come to play, and they bring it almost every week. All right, let's get you into your game slate here, guys. On Thursday, you've got the Saints and Cardinals. It's looking like Andy Dalton's going to be starting that game there on a short week there. Jameis Winston not going to be able to start, I believe, when we kick off on Thursday, week 7. Sunday, you got a 1 p.m. slate here of the Falcons and Bengals, Lions and Cowboys. Dak will be most likely playing that game on Sunday. You got the Colts and Titans, divisional matchup there. Packers, Commanders, Buccaneers, Panthers, Giants, Jacksonville Jaguars, Cleveland, and Baltimore. Another divisional game there. Of course, we got 4 teams on bye week this week, guys. You got those Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings, and Los Angeles Rams on bye. That is 4 of my top 15 teams. 3 of my top 5 teams in the NFL are off this week. So it kind of hurt me in my game selection here. You'll see that in just a second. but some of these big time teams are just not simply not playing this week. So make sure you set your lineups accordingly too. I know there's plenty of fantasy players on all of those teams. You got the Jets and Broncos and Texans and Raiders there for your Sunday 4:05 kickoffs, those Western games that quote unquote maybe not the whole nation cares about. And then you got your 4:25 games. You got the Seahawks and Chargers, and probably what game most people will be watching would be the Chiefs and Niners there. It's a 2 versus 13 matchup. Sunday night, you got Kenny Pickett versus Tua, most likely. Pickett coming off an injury, and Tua, of course, returning from his concussion. I think both these guys are slated to start in that one, so it should be a good matchup. And then on Monday, we've got more Chicago Bear offense, guys. I mean, get ready. It's just what we have to put up with. And Patriots, again, I don't know if I said this earlier in the podcast, but Thursday is going to be when they practice. Don't know if it's going to be Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi, but most likely we'll know by the end of Thursday. And there you have it. That's your game slate for week 7. It's shaping up to be an interesting week. Not the biggest marquee matchups out there. I had to find 6 of them to rank here so we can do our pick'ems. Let's go ahead and get started. Which 6 I picked? At number 6, we're going to come in there with that 23 versus 22 matchup. 3-2-1 Colts versus the 3-2 Titans. Divisional game, close in ranking, close in record. So had to put that on the list. Number 5, Seahawks and Chargers, 17 versus 8. 2 good teams. I think the matchups there are very interesting. The Seahawks actually, to me, are a more well-rounded team, while the Chargers are a more one-sided team. They're way more offense than they are defense. By the way, guys, we are drinking pumpkin spice coffee. That's what we're doing here. Today, pumpkin spice coffee. No alcohol to my birthday. My birthday's coming up, and I could probably use some, to be honest with you. Number 4, Pittsburgh Steelers, Miami Dolphins. I think that's going to be an excellent matchup of 2 really young quarterbacks there, 19 versus 12. Pittsburgh, of course, coming up there, those 10 spots in the power ranking. Let's hope they put on a good show for us and give it a shot there versus the 3-3 Dolphins. At number 3, you got the Atlanta Falcons and Cincinnati Bengals. Guys, I really like this. Is like a sneaky matchup for me. The Falcons, Marcus Mariota, guys, you guys know I talk about him all the time. Just how he fits into that offense, his mobility, what Atlanta's bringing to the table as an offensive unit is fantastic, and how they match up against a Bengals defense that can hold its own, and how they're going to fare against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I really hope that this is a very, very good game, and I think it will be. It's a sneaky good game, so it'll be very interesting to see how that one turns out. Number 2, you got the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens. Divisional showdown, 20 versus 10. Those teams just match up well. What can you say? It's always going to be a really good fight when these 2 teams face off. And number 1, guys, you've got that Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49er game. Got to go with Patrick Mahomes. So we got a 2 versus 13 matchup here. Little slim pickings for the games of the week, but these are the ones I picked for my 6. And of course, we're going to go ahead and pick them. And there you go. These are who I'm leaning for right now. Of course, I can change my picks up until kickoff. If you want to join our league, the link is in the description below. Feel free to join, or go ahead and write in the comments your picks. As you can see, last week I went 3-3. Not that bad, considering last week was a very interesting week in the NFL. A lot of underdogs winning their games last week. Of course, 24-12 overall for my pick 6s through the year so far. I think that's a pretty damn good record. So if you want to get on in on the action, like I said, that link is in the description below. Of course, guys, thank you so much for watching. You all are the best, especially my family, my friends. Much love to all of you. In Spanish, that's te amo. And please like and subscribe, guys. If you've gotten this far in the video, please do that for me. Like I said, it's free, and I'd much appreciate it. All right, guys, enjoy those games. Have fun. Have a great weekend. Don't party too hard. Even though it's my birthday, we're going to try. Peace.